Good afternoon, guys. Hey, this is Bruce Marshall from Simpler Trading with the nightly video update for Wednesday, April the 24th. And we'll start here with as usual, with the S&P and kind of take a look at things. We had a pretty uneventful day after compared to yesterday. As you can see here, just really a lot of chop sideways. Let me move the ticks down here. We are starting to see this is a pickup in volatility, which is, to be expected, I suppose. We have a lot of events coming up in the next couple of days. We had Facebook after the close today, and we've got Amazon tomorrow, and Google on Monday, and Apple on Tuesday reporting. So obviously it's going to be a lot going on. In fact, let me pull this over here. So this is Facebook after the close today. Big spike up from 182 to 202. So, pretty big move. And the Nasdaq's up about 12 points after hours, as to be expected. But again, let's get back over here to the S&P and kind of drill down on this. If you look at this, let's go back. I like to do this in 1 week at a time, or 5 days at a time. And what I've got loaded on here are the voodoo lines. And as you can see, for the last week or so, we've just been chopping around. This is a skyline right here. Briefly kind of went through it. That was didn't know what was going on there, because normally these will hold, but just poked down through and came right back up. Again, just sideways, sideways, sideways. And then we got this big gap yesterday, led by the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq was up 103 points yesterday. Big move from the tech names. Amazon was up 40 points. Apple was up big. Google was up. There were, all the big names and the small names were all, for the most part, up. And let me come back here to the 2-day. So if we look at this, the white line above us here, that is a snow line, and that is also the all-time high for the S&P, all-time high. And we get right up to it, and this level is actually 29.36. I think it was 0.75 if I remember correctly, right there. And then we just stopped going up. This is a pretty vicious move, basically straight up from the open, just up, and then we stopped, and then we just kind of zoned out the whole rest of the day. Didn't go anywhere. This morning, kind of chop, hit 29.36 again, almost exact number, and then we just kind of fizzled out the rest of the day. And again, that doesn't surprise me, given the fact that we still have all these big earnings names to go, coming up in the next couple of days. What is very interesting and continues to be interesting, we've been targeting this line right here for quite some time, and here we were 4 points away. Here we're 4 points away, and we couldn't reach up and tag it. That's what is a little strange, but I suspect that we probably will on Friday. Amazon reports after the close tomorrow, on Thursday. So I suspect if those earnings are indeed good, that we probably get up through this. Now, the reason that's important, let me back this out and show you, is that, let me zoom in here. And in fact, let me clean this up just a second. Take out some of those. Okay. So the reason that that's important, obviously that's our all-time high, and I've been eyeing this level since, I don't know, probably here. And if you guys remember, all the way up, but based on the craziness of all this, I kept thinking there's a pretty good chance that this pulls back, this pulls back, this pulls back, and none of these have. They've been very shallow. You see these little V's here? Very shallow, pull back and rally, pull back and rally. Well, we've kind of we've stretched the rubber band about as far as it can go at this point. Now, that does not mean I'm going to get short or anything like that, but what it does mean is that this is a heavy heavy line in the sand of overhead resistance to get through. Now, if we do get through it, as you can see, there's really, there's 3,000. There's really nothing above us as far as resistance. 3118. There's a big tree line up there. So there's nothing much up above us in the way of serious resistance. So if we get through that, what will happen is that there's probably lots of shorts right on the other side of this line, and if we get through it, short covering will happen, and that actually can propel us even higher. So be aware of that possibility. I suspect if that's going to happen, it will happen by 1 week from today. Write it down. And maybe sooner. And the reason I say that is, of course, we've got Amazon is the 800-pound gorilla. Everybody's waiting on all that kind of stuff. Google, very important. Apple, very important for tech leadership. NASDAQ, and so forth. So, that is, I think, a pretty good chance that we get through this. The question is, if we do, how far? The other thing is we could easily pull back here, easily, and we would still be in an upward bullish channel. Pull back, come back, try again, pull back, come back, try again, before finally getting through maybe later in the year. And I don't know which one is right. At this point, again, I feel like a broken record. I continue to say a coin toss here, but I am bracing for the possibility of pullback, just based on how extended we are and all that kind of stuff. But everyone seems to be getting more bullish up here, which actually bothers me even a little bit more. But anyway, again, I'm probably lighter. That I've been lightening up the whole way up here as far as number of trades. I'll usually keep on 10 trades at once or something like that, and I've got like 2 or 3 on right now. But it makes sense to tighten up stops, protect your profit when you get it, that type thing. But and I will say that we have to continue to assume this thing is going to keep going, because it's that's been the momentum, by the dip, higher. As much as it looks extended, it could easily keep going. And the next hurdle, which we basically right up against, is this all-time high of 2940. So again, be ready in the next couple of days for either a punch through and in some higher levels, or a hit and fail off this level. Especially, here's one thing I think is also very possible, is that all these earnings, because of the moves that we've seen already in Amazon and Google and all that kind of stuff, not that they're super extended, but the earnings may be kind of baked in already, so we may have less excitement. And again, it's really tough to tell at this point. We've got bonds and stocks moving, together, which doesn't usually happen. The rut is kind of not participating. That usually doesn't happen. So strange times, right? So anyway, be very close to your computer and on your toes the next several days. Watch for Amazon after the close tomorrow. Watch for Google after the close on Monday, and Apple after the close on Tuesday. And then by this time next week, when I come back next Wednesday, we'll see what happened. So I hope that makes sense and helps. And have a great and exciting next 4 or 5 days of trading. Thanks.